Hello everybody, welcome. So today I'm going to do a real quick video, just an overview of the Tesla style unit because, well, I look back and I haven't really done one. Really the only difference between what I'm running in here and what you would get after if you purchased one right now, is a few things with the firmware are changed because I'm actually running a custom firmware on mine. I know a couple of people have commented on a couple of my other videos and asked if I have had any problems with the unit, and I'll cover those in just a second, and were they easily fixed. So I guess I'll go ahead and get that right now. Basically, the biggest issue that I had was trying to get apps on this thing because the Wi-Fi is just slow. There's no other way to put it. Right now I'm sitting in the parking garage at work and I actually have Wi-Fi, which is very strange because at home my wireless router is even closer than the one here and it won't pick it up in the driveway. So that's, and as you can see, it keeps cutting out. So it's not a huge deal. I've gotten to where if there's an application I want, that I will just download the APK. There's a couple of sites you can do that with. I can put a link in the description below, but I'll show you one of them. One of the things that I like is you can get one APK from APK Pure, and that will actually let's cut that all the way down. That is basically an app store that you can download all kinds of other things that you can through Google Play, and I do have Play Store on here, so I could do them through that. But let's just say that you don't want to put your Google account on this device. Well, you can still download apps through APK Pure. You're still going to run into the issue of the network speed. The Wi-Fi in this thing is only 2.4 gigahertz, which is not a huge issue, but it's slow. I mean, there's no way around it. This is the PX3, the Gen 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, Gen 2, sorry. Gen 2, PX3, 2 gig of RAM, 32 gig storage, and it's in my 2015 Tundra Limited. I do have dual climate, and I can actually set them separately here. So say that my wife's in the truck and she wants it a little warmer over there, she can go a little warmer. And so the dual climate control does work. But I normally leave it on sync. There is no sync. Oh, sorry, dual, yes. Minimize that. So out of the box, you're going to have a few applications, mainly these over here on the left. The online TV, which I don't even think it does anything. It doesn't do anything. The light setting is actually how you change the color of the buttons on the sides. I think this is, I can't remember what the value is here, but it matches the interior lights pretty well. I want to say it's like a 534 or something like that, but that's not the way it comes factory, so you will have to change that. The auxiliary, they have auxiliary input on the back. I do not have that plugged up, so no big deal there. Picture, I don't have any pictures on here, at least I don't think I do. No, I don't. You could go through pictures, not like you really want to. File manager, it comes with, I want to say it's ES Explorer from the factory, and it works pretty well. So you can get to your USB storage and all that kind of stuff, and every time you go to your USB you have to hit OK. And that's the folder I have on there. And I have different things of music So like now I'll be playing music from my music YouTube folder so that I do not get a copyright strike. because that's no good for anyone. But the File Explorer allows you to do stuff with the file system, and you can just back all the way out. Now, most of these are ones that I installed. VLC, just because I like VLC for just a media player on the device itself. Waze I use pretty much any time that I'm going on a long trip. Because usually I know where I'm going, but Waze comes in handy for the traffic alerts, police sightings. Not that I'm speeding or anything, but I just like to know when people are going to be breakdancing before I get there. So I can try to avoid them and give them extra buffer. YouTube will work if you are hotspotted, which I can hotspot from my phone. Cigic is actually what I have my Navi button programmed to, and it takes a second to come up, but it is a completely offline navigation app, and they do have a free version. It's free for however many days or whatever. The paid isn't terrible, but if you know where you're looking, you could probably download it for free. And this actually works really well with, actually there is a way that you could have your music, say that you have dragged this one all the way to the top to put it in split screen mode, and then say you wanted to have your music playing on the bottom, so you could tell what music was actually playing. You can do that. And I'll cut it up here. So you can have your navigation and your music and tell what's actually being played. Very similar to stock. So you can do split screen like this with just about any of the applications that you can put on this thing. But I like this because this is actually my music that I have on a thumb drive that's stuck down in the factory socket down there. And then this is actually not even pulling data, because as you can see, I have no data. This is all maps that I have downloaded to it, and that's approximately where I am now. It's getting positioned, so it's not exact. But you can go into driving, and it shows a different view like that, so you can actually kind of see the streets as you come up on them. It's pretty cool. So to get out of this, what I do is I normally exit out of the bottom app. Sometimes you can just drag down, and I don't really care about Cigic right now, so we can close that. Go back to my app list. Of course, Play Store I have on here because, well, you know, I am signed in on this one, so I could download from Play Store. Like right now I have Signal, but it's probably very weak, so I'm not even going to try. Play Music I use because I can download tracks to this device, or playlists to this device. It comes in very handy. iHeartRadio, Waze has a deal that you can actually stream through iHeartRadio. Now, we went to Virginia a couple weeks ago, and it's roughly 1,000 miles round trip, something like that, a little over that. And I had Waze going the whole time, and I had to try to figure out how to get music going at the same time. This is a quirk about this radio. I don't know if the Gen 3 PX6 with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage will have this problem or not. I have not been able to speak to anybody to actually try to duplicate this, but this is what happened. Whenever I would start Waze, I would actually have to start my media player first, and then use the buttons up here to, had to hit the home button, and then come back and then go into app list and then open Waze from there. And what that that did is it actually closed my media player, which is no good. I mean, even though it was just running, it closed it. And then I would have to come back over here and then open the media player, get it playing, come back, hit that again, and then go back into my Waze. And then that would leave the media player playing in the background. I couldn't see what was playing, but I would have my Waze here. And it would be laggy for, I don't know, about 30 seconds or so, but it would be fine after that. And there was one point after about an hour and a half of driving, it quit updating. Waze, I was stuck like, a couple of miles where I just came from. And, clicking on the thing and clicking back on Waze didn't do anything. I actually ended up having to restart the whole head unit to fix that. I mean, it's an Android, basically an Android tablet in your dash, so I mean it's going to have issues from time to time. Any device will. A full PC in your dash is going to have problems and need to be rebooted sometimes. So there was that hiccup. At one point I tried doing the iHeartRadio through Waze, but whenever you click the iHeartRadio button, it just brings you into the app. If you're not signed in, you sign in. Then you can choose what to listen to, but it would never take me back to Waze. So then I'd go back to Waze and it would just crash completely. So I don't know if that's a memory limitation or if that's something with this that it just doesn't support. I wasn't able to do that. So that's pretty much all I have on here. I don't have a whole lot. My Geekbench 4 is just benchmarks for just various things. I do have it does come from the from the factory with the anytime rear view camera backed into my parking spot here. So if you had a front camera, it would actually show front up here if you had it plugged in, and you could switch to it at any time. You can do this even when you're driving down the road. As you can tell, I'm not in reverse. You didn't hear anything happen, but that rear view camera is on. You can do that driving down the road. No big deal. Phone link, that's something that a lot of people have asked about, and well, it helps if I actually hit it. Okay, well, it does nothing. There was, at one point, it would actually open the like a phone mirroring application, but I could never get to work. So I don't know if that's just I don't have the right dongle or what, but that's that. If you hit Explorer, it'll open up Chrome, I believe. Yep, Chrome. And of course, the last thing I had opened was the APK Pure. You can use this to download. You can go to this website on your desktop and actually download the APKs to a thumb drive, stick them in, and then install them from your file manager. That's actually the fastest way to get an application installed on this device. So I mean that's pretty much it. Your console doesn't really give you much except for a few of the settings that would be in the stock head unit. Some of these work, some of these don't, because this is at the end of the day it's still just a generic tablet that they just fit to a mount that works in the truck. I don't have TPMS stuff. So as far as what's different on this one versus what would be in the stock firmware, let me see. Back. Come on, back up. The biggest thing for me is Sergey's firmware. That I run his custom firmware. It is a paid firmware, but in my opinion, it's very worth it. I'll do a video about all the differences, but this is the ones that make a big deal for me. Number one, when you receive a phone call on this, on the factory firmware, there's no real way to change the ring volume, and it will scare the living bejesus out of you. especially if you're listening to just some mellow music and you're just cruising down the road. I mean, it is loud. You don't want the stock ringtone. And there's really no way to change it on the factory one. Sergey somehow has found a way to make it, I mean, it's very close to factory, the way that it rings. And it's a lot more pleasant. The other thing is, for me, the themes. He has enabled all of the themes that are available in any of these units, and I will show you. He also changed where you get to it. System, all the way to the bottom. He has all kinds of different themes, and I have done a video on what each of these themes look like. I prefer the one that I'm on, the theme 100. And here you can actually change between the classic, the modern, and the black media, radio, and Bluetooth. And that's what I'm actually, let me go back to my media player. No, not radio, music. This would be the modern. I like it better with this skin. It blends very well. Those are the two things for me that made it worth it. More customization. And I'm not running the latest update as of today. He has released another update that actually fixes the date, because for us in the US, we're used to month, day, year for whatever reason. But this one is day, month, year, which makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. But anyway, he fixed that. He also added the red theme, which I'll have to do a video on also and show you all that. That for me is the biggest changes. Now there are other things that he has changed, like he changes where you access some of the settings. Like I said, normally to get to the UI theme you would have to go into, believe that it's advanced, and then, is that it? Let me see if I can remember the code. Nope, this one's the 666888. There we go. It would normally be in here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it's multiple steps that you have to get to, or maybe it's the system info, long press, and that's the 7890. And then you go through that, you go to system, yeah, UI theme, there it is. I don't want to have to go through all that if I'm changing through and looking for all the themes. Number one, that's why I made that video for y'all, so y'all can see what they look like without having to go through all that rigmarole. But anyway, that's the biggest thing. Now, the biggest thing that I miss from the factory radio is actually twofold. Well, three things actually. One, on the radio, let me make sure I'm all the way down here, we don't have any RDS information. I really liked it when it would show the channel name, like this I listened to is Air 1, and it would show the song information, the currently playing song. Sergey's trying to get it on this. It's just, I don't even think that it's something that he can pull. Other Android radios do have it, but this one does not. I miss that. Also, as crazy as it is, I do miss that being able to pause live radio. Say that you're listening to an awesome song, you haven't heard it in forever, and somebody calls. Well, you just missed that song. But on the factory one, it actually pauses the live radio, and whenever you get off the phone, it resumes where you left off, which is really cool. For a lot of you, I know that's not going to be a huge deal because all you do is listen to the media on the device or streaming media, whatever. I'm more old school than that. I prefer over-the-air radio, for the most part at least. Like I said, I do have a collection of my MP3s on here. The third thing, which is actually the biggest thing for me, And it's one reason I'm probably going to be swapping this out for one of the Toyota units, which I do have, but I just have not put it in yet. The hands-free calling on this thing sucks. There's no way around it. The mic in this thing, people can hardly hear you. And there's no way to add a USB one that we have found yet, as of today, that there is none. There have been a few guys that have pulled the radio out, pulled this side over here out, and actually soldered another microphone onto the board here. I think there's actually one person that actually soldered a headphone jack and ran it out the back and like hot glued it to the back so he could plug in whatever microphone he wanted and run it up top where the factory one is. I would actually prefer that, but again, that's something that I do miss. I end up, whenever somebody calls me, either switching to my Bluetooth headset or just picking up the phone and putting it to my ear, because I know it's not the safest thing, but they can hear me and I can get off the phone faster. So, but that's a fault with the unit itself. That's not so much software that you can fix. There are some settings that you can change that help some, but it doesn't help a whole lot. So, but anyway, so that is the basic overview of this unit, and this video is already long enough. I won't go into much more, but it's pretty fun. If there's anything else that you want to see me show on the unit, just let me know in the comment section below, and I will be glad to do that. Even though I'm probably going to be changing out for the Toyota unit soon, I will still have this one. I can switch back and forth. It's not that hard. And I can still do, some videos on this. And I still have some that I need to do before I pull it out. But I'm still not, I don't know how the other one's going to do, so we'll see. I like how fast this one boots up. I've heard that the Toyota is not as fast, but it's not as slow as the Gen 3 either. So there's that. But anyway, if you have any questions or comments, just hit me up in the comment section below. And if you like this video, smash that thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and click the little bell out beside it, and to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And I will see y'all next time.